Every single January, millions of people make the same resolutions with genuine intention. Lose weight, build a business, quit bad habits, save money, get disciplined. By the end of the first week, 75% are still going strong. After 1 month, that drops to 64%. After 6 months, only 46% are still keeping their resolution. The second Friday in January has been identified as Quitter's Day because that's when most people abandon their goals. But this isn't about willpower or motivation. Recent psychology research reveals the actual mechanisms that cause this predictable collapse, and more importantly, the system that puts you in the 9% who actually transform their lives. Welcome to Prime Theory, where we expose the psychology that separates those who change from those who stay stuck. Today I'm breaking down exactly why New Year's resolutions are designed to fail, the neuroscience of why willpower collapses by mid-January, and the research-backed protocol that actually creates lasting transformation. This isn't about motivation. This is about understanding how behavioral change actually works. Let's get into it. So why do resolutions fail with such predictable consistency? About 80% of people abandon their resolutions within the month, not because they're weak, but because the entire concept is psychologically flawed. Here's what's actually happening. The standard model imagines a battle between your rational mind that knows what's good for you and the part that wants what it wants. Willpower is supposed to be the rational commander issuing orders to rebellious desires. You will go to the gym, you will not eat the cookie, you will wake up early. But neuroscience shows this model is fundamentally broken because willpower isn't unlimited. It's a finite resource that depletes throughout the day. Every decision requiring self-control drains your willpower tank, and by evening you're running on empty, which is exactly when most resolutions collapse. The second reason resolutions fail is binary thinking. When we view progress as success versus failure, a single setback can derail everything. You miss one gym session and suddenly the entire resolution feels broken. You eat one cookie and you failed, so you might as well eat the whole box. We're not wired to make big sweeping changes. We're wired for gradual adaptation through small, consistent actions. But resolutions demand dramatic overnight transformation, which is why they collapse so predictably. And here's the third reason. Many resolutions are influenced by societal expectations or trends. Maybe you're trying to get a beach body because of popular beauty standards, or taking up a new hobby because it's big on social media. When your resolution is rooted in external pressure rather than genuine internal desire, you don't have the intrinsic motivation to push through difficulty, so you quit the moment it gets hard. Let's go deeper into what's actually happening in your brain during those first 2 weeks of January. On January 1st, you're flooded with optimism and motivation. Your brain releases dopamine in anticipation of your future transformed self. You visualize success. You feel excited. You're ready to change everything. But here's the neurological trap. That initial dopamine spike isn't from achieving your goal. It's from imagining achieving your goal. Your brain rewards you for the fantasy, not the action, which creates a psychological shortcut where you get some of the emotional payoff without doing the actual work. People who talk excessively about their goals are less likely to achieve them because the talking provides the dopamine hit that should be reserved for actual progress. Then reality hits. Week 2 of January, you're still going to the gym, but now it's cold outside, you're sore, it's not fun anymore, the novelty has worn off. Your brain's dopamine response to gym attendance is dropping because you're building tolerance. People underestimate how uncomfortable change feels and abandon goals at the first setback rather than expecting difficulty as part of the process. You thought change would feel good, but it actually feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and exhausting. Your brain interprets discomfort as danger and starts screaming, "Go back to what's familiar." So by the second Friday in January, Quitter's Day, you've depleted your willpower reserves, the dopamine novelty has faded, discomfort feels unbearable, and your brain is pulling you back to homeostasis. But here's the deeper issue. The goals we set are often based on our current state, the person we are right now. But the person capable of achieving those goals isn't your old self. It has to be a transformed, more capable version of you. You're trying to achieve a goal that requires you to be someone you're not yet, which creates massive psychological friction. If your resolution is to work out 5 times per week but you currently work out 0 times, you're asking yourself to maintain behavior that contradicts your current identity. You're not someone who works out, so every gym session feels like you're fighting against who you are. Identity-based change is more powerful than goal-based change. You need to shift from "I want to work out" to "I am someone who works out," and that identity shift requires consistent proof through action. Now let's talk about the third major failure point: vague resolutions. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they're not specific enough. Resolving to exercise more or lose weight is an easy way to set yourself up for failure. Both lack a way to mark progress and are unlikely to keep you motivated throughout the year. Your brain needs clear feedback to know whether it's succeeding or failing, but when your goal is lose weight, what does success look like? Lost 1 pound? 10 pounds? 50? And by when? Without specificity, you can't measure progress, which means you can't celebrate wins, which means you don't get the dopamine reinforcement that builds momentum. Having a timeline for your resolution is helpful, so think of short-term, medium-term, and long-term benchmarks. Then there's the language problem. When people frame resolutions in negative language, when people resolve to stop wasting money or stop eating junk food, it often backfires. Trying not to think about something actually makes you think about it more. Tell yourself, "Don't eat cookies," and suddenly all you can think about is cookies. This is why approach goals work better than avoidance goals. Instead of "stop wasting money," the goal becomes "save $500 monthly." Instead of "stop eating junk," it becomes "eat vegetables with every meal." Your brain responds better to moving towards something positive than away from something negative.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
All right, enough diagnosis. Let's talk about what actually works. The research is clear. Lasting change doesn't come from massive resolutions. It comes from tiny systems that compound over time. Here's the protocol that puts you in the 9% who succeed. Step 1. Make it stupidly small. Small specific changes aligned with personal values, pursued with self-compassion rather than self-criticism, produce lasting results. Instead of "I'll work out an hour daily," make it "I'll do 10 push-ups every morning." Instead of "I'll read 50 books this year," make it "I'll read 2 pages before bed." The goal isn't to stay small forever. It's to build the identity of someone who takes action consistently. Once 10 push-ups becomes automatic, you'll naturally increase it because the behavior is already integrated into your identity. Step 2. Use implementation intentions. Instead of vague "I'll exercise more," you create a specific trigger. When I wake up at 6 a.m., then I'll do 10 push-ups. When I finish my morning coffee, then I'll read 2 pages. This removes decision fatigue because you're not deciding whether to do it in the moment, you've already decided and you're just executing a pre-planned behavior. Your brain loves automation, so you're essentially creating if-then algorithms for yourself. Step 3. Track visible progress immediately. Get a calendar and mark an X every day you complete your tiny habit. Jerry Seinfeld used this method to become one of the greatest comedians alive. He wrote jokes every single day and the chain of X's became psychologically addictive. When you break the chain, and you will, don't shame yourself. Just start a new chain the next day. Step 4. Design your environment for success. Relying solely on willpower to resist temptation or make big changes is a recipe for burnout. So instead of relying on willpower, remove the need for willpower entirely. Want to work out in the morning? Sleep in your gym clothes. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow. Want to eat healthier? Don't buy junk food in the first place. The strongest habit changes happen when you make the desired behavior easier and the undesired behavior harder. Every bit of friction you remove from your desired behavior increases your likelihood of following through. Now let's talk about what happens when you hit resistance, because you will. By mid-January, the novelty has completely worn off. You've probably missed a day or two already. The weather's gotten worse. Life has thrown you curveballs, and suddenly your resolution feels like a burden instead of an exciting opportunity. This is the test. Most people hit their first setback and conclude they've completely failed, so they abandon the entire resolution. The psychological reframe that changes everything is this: setbacks aren't failures, they're data points. You missed the gym today? That's information. Why did you miss? Was the barrier too high? Was your plan unrealistic? Did something unexpected happen? Use that information to adjust your system, not abandon it. Hugely successful people approach failure as feedback, not the end. If you hit a roadblock, that's okay. It's part of the process. The key is to give yourself permission to adapt instead of giving up. So if your plan was gym 5 days per week and that's proving impossible, adjust to 3 days per week with a 10-minute home workout on off days. If your reading goal of 30 minutes daily is too ambitious, drop it to 5 minutes. The goal isn't rigid adherence to your original plan. The goal is continuous forward momentum, however small. Reducing your goal doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're adapting intelligently. Someone who does 10 push-ups daily for an entire year achieves more than someone who plans an hour workout daily but quits in January. Step 5. Focus on identity, not outcomes. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you do your 10 push-ups, you're not just exercising, you're voting for the identity of "I am someone who takes care of their body." When you read your 2 pages, you're voting for "I am someone who values learning." Over time, these votes accumulate and your identity shifts. It takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic, and at that point, it stops requiring willpower because it's just who you are. But you only reach 66 days by starting with actions so small that missing them feels ridiculous, and then staying consistent long enough for identity to catch up with behavior. Here's what you need to understand going into this new year. Every January, millions of people make resolutions. By February, most have abandoned them. The failure rate hovers around 80%, but that failure isn't inevitable. It's predictable, which means it's preventable if you understand the psychology and build systems instead of relying on motivation. Most people will set massive resolutions, get excited for a week, hit discomfort, experience a setback, engage in all or nothing thinking, and quit by mid-January. They'll feel guilty, they'll blame themselves for lacking willpower, and next year they'll do the exact same thing expecting different results. But you now know better. You know that willpower is finite. That change requires tiny, consistent actions, not dramatic transformations. That vague goals doom you to failure. That setbacks are information, not indictments. And that identity change through small behavioral votes is how transformation actually happens. So here's my challenge to you. Don't make a New Year's resolution. Make a New Year's system. Pick one behavior so small you can't say no. Something that takes less than 2 minutes. Attach it to an existing habit. Track it visibly. When you miss a day, start again the next day without shame. Focus on becoming the type of person who does this thing, not on achieving a specific outcome. Do this for 66 days and you'll have fundamentally changed your identity. Do this for a year and you'll be unrecognizable. This is prime theory. We give you the psychology that actually creates change, not the motivational garbage that feels good but leads nowhere. Subscribe for weekly breakdowns of what the research says works versus what popular culture says works. You're about to enter a new year, where 80% of people will fail their resolutions by February. The question is, are you going to be in that 80% or are you going to be in the 9% who understand the game and build systems that actually work? The choice is yours. I'll see you in the next one.